pumpkin dinner rolls. Oh yeah, the cuteness factor here is off the charts. But it does not matter how pretty or cool something looks, if it doesn't also taste amazing. Let's go ahead and get started with this very simple dough. And that'll begin with some warm milk. And then over that we will sprinkle 1 package of dry active yeast, plus a tablespoon or so of honey. And then we're also going to want to add a generous amount of melted butter. And then we will go ahead and give that a quick stir before finishing this up with our flour. And then last but not least, we will add our salt. And that's it. Alright, so we want everything to sort of pull together, but it's still going to be way too sticky to knead. Go ahead and transfer that onto our work surface, and we will start kneading. And if everything goes according to plan, eventually we will end up with a very soft, fairly elastic, but not too sticky dough. And at this point we should be able to shape this into a ball of dough that holds its shape. And when we give it a push with our fingers, that dough springs back. And once that's been accomplished, we'll go ahead and transfer that into a lightly buttered bowl, and then we'll cover it and let it sit in a warm place for about an hour and a half, or until it doubles in size. And then while we're waiting for that to happen, cut some pieces of string about 8 to 10 inches long, and we're going to need 4 per roll. And once those are cut, we'll transfer them into a bowl and toss them in a little bit of vegetable oil. At which point we'll simply set those aside. What we'll do is go ahead and deflate our dough, and then transfer it to our table and sort of press it down into some kind of uniform shape. I went ahead and split it in half, and actually saved that other half for some Danish experiments. And then what we'll do once we've cut this into some hopefully equal sized pieces is roll each piece into a nice round ball. At which point we're going to cover these, and then once our dough has rested for about 15 minutes, we can proceed to tie it up. We will place 4 pieces of string down as shown, making sure that point in the center where they all come together is very precise. And then we'll go ahead and transfer our dough on with the smoothest side down. And then one at a time we'll take each string and tie it together using a simple square knot at the top. And then once we've made that knot at the top, we'll go ahead and snip off the excess. We'll go ahead and transfer those onto a Silpat lined baking sheet with the knot side down. Just simply let them sit in a warm spot for about 30 minutes or so, which is when all the magic happens. Check it out! And then to finish these off, we're going to do 2 things. One would be to sift a little bit of flour over the top. And also, if we want, we could take a little bit of extra dough and sort of roughly form it into these little stem-like shapes. And that's it! Once all that's set, these are ready to transfer into the center of a 375-degree oven for about 25 minutes, or until lightly brown. Oh yeah, the cuteness factor here is off the charts. And once they have cooled down, what we'll do is take our scissors and cut through all 4 pieces of string at the top, at which point we will carefully peel down and remove those strings. And that's it. Once the strings are gone, we'll go ahead and cut a little hole in the top, into which we will place our stems. And as I transfer those onto a rosemary lined platter, I really did think they looked great. And trust me, so will your guests. It does not matter how pretty or cool something looks, if it doesn't also taste amazing. And thanks to a fairly classic dinner roll dough, these really did.